Hey, welcome back to the Dan and Dani podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about our 10 favorite things to do in Las Vegas. We just went to Las Vegas together. We had a great time. So I'm so excited to be talking about this stuff with y'all guys. But first things first.
We need our shots.
Yes. What are you drinking?
So I'm going to be drinking Screwball today. If y'all haven't heard of it, y'all need to get on the Screwball train because it's a whiskey peanut butter flavor. I really like it. You don't need a chaser like I used to with Jameson, as you guys saw me before. But yeah, it's selling off the shelves, but I think y'all should try it. And what about you?
I will be trying something new, unlike you that drinks the same one most of the time. I will be trying Old Smoky Tennessee Moonshine. Let's find out what that is. I've never had it.
I just found that at Specs one day and was like, let's try this. And then I got scared because it said moonshine. So it's been sitting for a minute, unopened, but still.
Exactly. I put it to good use. You can see the reaction. John will be drinking Western Sun Peach, one of my tried and true favorites. So, cheers.
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 Oh yeah, I knew that was gonna kill him.
Oh my God, that was terrible. What the fuck? Oh Jesus.
He really
Why would
said,
anybody drink
what the fuck?
Oh, okay. Well, now you know what to expect if you ever buy this. So I took one for the team for you. Whew, okay.
And he can drink a lot of different things, but okay, what do you give that?
Oh, maybe
Out of 10.
a 1 out of 10? Definitely one of the worst I've ever had.
I mean, it's moonshine, honey.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'm glad we did that because that puts us in the perfect mood for today's topic, the best things in Las Vegas. We may have drank a good amount while we were there, but we had a lot of fun too. So let's talk about the top 10 things to do in Las Vegas, 10 things which you got to do while you're there. Number 10 is the I Love Sugar candy store.
That place was outstanding. I'm not gonna lie. The second you walk in to the store, you are literally staring all the way up to the ceiling, trying to see everything because it's literally from floor to ceiling.
Man, and I'm not really like a big into candy person myself, but this was an experience. They have a bar in there. They give these, how do you describe it? It's like gigantic martinis that are made out of candy.
So they have a 2-story building, and on the top floor, they do have their own separate bar for 21 and up, and they give you like the size of 2 people's heads worth of a martini glass. And it's not just martinis. They have smaller sized drinks too if you cannot handle the huge ones. But what we did was we got a green gummy bear martini, and they just basically filled the very top to the rim of green gummy bears, and then inside they pour like this apple martini type of flavor, and it's like dry ice smoke like everywhere. It's really fucking cool, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, right. It was a good time. I know if you're a guy right now, a candy store doesn't sound like a great place to party, but it really is. This candy store is like one of a kind. It's a great experience. It's a great date location too.
If you like theatrics while you eat or drink, this is the type of place that you would go. So like, say you go to Barton G restaurant, that's theater. You know, that's all theatrics. So if you go to this place and you go up to the bar, it's gonna be a lot of fun, definitely.
Yes, really good time.
And now, number 9, 7 Magic Mountains. So this place I had researched and I had seen so many times on Instagram and social media, and I was always so jealous of this. This is definitely one place that I definitely wanted to go see. So when we went, we of course rented a Tesla Model 3, and we went all the way out to the desert from the strip, and we saw these 7 Magic Mountains. They were beautiful, colorful. It was great.
It was a surprisingly good time. When you first told me about this, I'm like, oh, just a bunch of colored rocks? Why would we want to go see a bunch of colored rocks? But it's much cooler than it seems like just looking at the pictures. First of all, when you're in Las Vegas all the time, you'll probably be on the strip most of the time. You'll be doing the casinos and doing the same type of thing for most of the time. Especially if you're there for 5 or 7 days or 2 weeks, you're going to want to get outside of Las Vegas and go into the desert sometimes. There's a lot of fun things to do in the desert that are surprisingly good if it's a variety thing, if it's one of the things you're doing and most of the things you're doing are at the casino. So I recommend you guys drive out there. What was it? It was about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes out?
No, it was only 15 minutes.
So just 15 minutes out, you drive out there, and then you have these rocks out there. Man, it's a really good time. It's hard to describe, but you guys will like it. Make some great pictures. Definitely recommend you check it out.
Also, if you're looking for something free to do, it's a free event to do as well. Just go out there, drive, and you can take pictures, and everyone really likes it. We saw a bunch of big groups out there with their families too. But make sure to get there before the end of the 2021 year because they're going to be taking it down, rumor says.
Yes, so make sure you check it out soon. All right, so number 8 was the place we stayed last time we went to Las Vegas, the Venetian. You want to talk a little bit about that?
So I'm not going to lie, this place was really cool, but this was also my very first time ever being to Vegas. I really haven't traveled very much anywhere. So knowing that this hotel, it was a little bit pricey per day, but if you're a member with the Venetian, like a Grazie member, then it's actually a lot cheaper for the room rates, even if you just sign up for free online. These rooms looked just like a suite, and I don't mean like a regular standard room. I mean like it was a 2-floor stairs, beautiful like living area. We had 2 refrigerators. Oh my God, it was beautiful. I loved it.
The bathroom? Yeah, even the bathroom was beautiful.
That felt like I was in Roman times.
Right? Yeah, the whole room, it's one of the nicest rooms that I think you can get in Las Vegas. There's other things in that price range, like Caesars and things like that, which are more of a modern room. But this is something really unique with that 2-floor layout, like she was saying, with the bathroom, with the European-style suite. It's a really, really nice place to stay.
Now, we also did go play some poker downstairs in the poker room. Our first night, man, I don't know why you didn't stop me. You were sitting right next to me in poker, Daniel, and I went down with some Vegas bombs. Vegas. And yeah, we woke up the next day. I felt like shit.
Yes. However, later on, you came back and had a big win. You want to tell people about that?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the very first night we came in, I was doing pretty well already. I won maybe like $200. So I won my money back and an extra 100. And this guy got really mad at me because it was my first time, very first time actually playing at a poker table with other people that I didn't know. So he was mad that I wasn't calling check or anything like that. So I looked at the dealer and I said, do I actually need to do this? And he laughed at me and said no. And so the manager actually had to come escort the guy out.
She beat this guy so much he was about to like fight her at the table. He got so mad security had to get him.
Yeah.
But anyways, she won a ton of his money and everybody else's too. So she was up really big that day. But Venetian overall, the poker room, so different people have different thoughts on this. On the one hand, at the poker room at the Venetian, it's really nice, one of the best poker rooms, but the rake or the amount that they take every hand is one of the highest.
Yes.
But there's actually an upside to that too. Because the rake is so high, it doesn't tend to attract the best poker players. It tends to attract just people on vacation that are looking to have a good time for a few hours. So the level of players there, I thought, was significantly lower than at Flamingo or at the other lower rake places.
And I second that because when we went to play poker at the Flamingo, I lost my $100 in literally the first 10 minutes, I would say. I couldn't even find a waitress to get me a damn drink before I got out.
Yeah, because people there are much better because there's a lower rate, there's more professionals. So I recommend if you enjoy poker, if you want to have a good time, play at the Venetian in a beautiful room. You're going to be paying a high rate, but you'll be playing against worse players. So it all works out.
That's true. Also, whenever we were staying at the Venetian, the first thing that we decided to do, of course, that everybody loves doing, is ordering room service.
Yes.
What we did was we got a bottle of champagne, we got some entrees for dinner. Oh my gosh, I used to be a milk drinker, so all I did was spend the bill on milk.
Like a gallon of milk
No,
daily.
I'm serious. He's not lying. I was drinking a lot because I'm like, hey, it's room service and this tastes good. And I'm just going to keep ordering it because it's easily available. But yeah, no, if I could say anything good about this room service, it would definitely be their choice of drink options. Now, their bread board was awesome, their pastry board and everything, but they didn't have very high options in their entrees.
Yeah, it was. Basically the appetizers and the breakfast I thought were pretty good. But for dinner, it's just the level of competition. There's so much better dinners out there. Overall, though, pretty solid room service. I'd recommend it. And overall, the Venetian I think is a good place to stay if you got some money. There's definitely cheaper places to stay out there, but if you have a good amount of money and you want something unique, I recommend it.
All right, so next is going to be number 7, the High Roller.
Yes.
So this high roller is just a humongous Ferris wheel for adults, basically.
Yeah.
You can bring kids, but this is more suited for people that are drinking and wanting to be in a group setting, and everybody can fit in this type of thing. It's literally just one big ball. I think about 7 or 8 people could probably fit in this thing. Takes about 30 minutes to go all the way around.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so when you think of a Ferris wheel, you usually think like you're out in the open, but this is like an air-conditioned room. It's like an air-conditioned party room that you can go in. If we brought like 8 or 10 of our friends, it'd be a perfect little party atmosphere. We went up by ourselves. It's still fun if you go up by yourselves or on a date, but if you go up with a group, I think that's really the way to do it.
I think so too. And plus, you can take drinks to go from any restaurant in Vegas. Literally, we were carrying things in a to-go cup constantly. And
Yes.
all we had to do was step on with our drinks and nobody said anything about it.
Yes, it was a great time. So the Ferris wheel, it's enormous. You get a great view of the strip, and it goes very slow. It takes, I believe it's half an hour to complete one full revolution. So if you buy a ticket, you basically have half an hour in the party room. So man, when you're up there, you have a good 20 minutes up where you have an amazing view. When you're with your friends up there, you're partying, it's a great time. I highly recommend it.
All right, so number 6 on our list is going to be the ramen place in the Link Alleyway food court area. This place was really cool to find because we were just randomly walking around and I was like, Daniel, I'm hungry. Like we were literally just sitting in the room in the Venetian and I was like, Daniel, I'm really hungry, but I'm craving ramen. And so we walked down the alleyway in the Link area, just a few minutes away from the Venetian. And lo and behold, we find this small little hole in the wall place in this alley. And they had, availability. You didn't really need to make a reservation for this type of place, even though a lot of places were asking for reservations. And sadly enough, I only was able to eat a little bit because on the walk there, my appetite is starting to deteriorate a little bit. But Daniel killed it.
Yes, I did. And it was surprising too because we really planned out the Vegas restaurants. She made reservations a month in advance to Hell's Kitchen and those type of places. So we had some really great restaurants. But the alley was surprisingly good. It was among the best that we had. And it was 10% of the price of Hell's Kitchen. It was I recommend that you make some room for late nights or times outside of restaurants where you have unplanned food truck type of alley dining like that. There's some surprisingly good food in the alleys, especially the Link Alley.
And also don't forget that this Las Vegas is a basically 24-hour party. So if you think that you're not going to eat later, think again, because you may stay up till 5 a.m. and you're going to be hungry as shit. Where are you going to go? Anywhere.
And you might be tempted to do room service or the same restaurant in the casino you normally do. Have an adventure. Go in the alley, get some great food.
That's what I think so.
Yes.
Okay, so next on our list, number 5, is going to be the Circa Casino and Hotel. This place is 21 and up only. So no kids, nobody under the age of 21. Not just 18 to 21. No, it's 21 and up.
Yes. So that makes it a little bit more fun if you're going without kids.
Especially if you're trying to party.
Yes. And Circa is a place, it's a really nice place. Really great casino, great pool there, but it doesn't get that much attention because it's off the strip. Circa is worth going off the strip for. There's a lot of good things on the strip, but it's worth it to go here. Believe me, we've been there. A lot of people have said this who have been there. I highly recommend you go off the strip and go to Circa.
Now, if you're going to go to Circa, this place is more of a sporty type of casino. It's got the biggest sports book that you can find. Now, their stadium swim, which is their pool area, it is really cool. They have this humongous TV projector thing that plays a bunch of sports. However, the pool itself does not have very much shade at all unless you're going to be going out through the tunnel or up the stairs or anything like that. So if you're trying to just, hang out and lounge out in the middle of the open, it's really sunny, just letting you guys know.
Yes, but if you go in the off season, like in February, like we did, then it's a little bit easier to hang out. Or even like in March or April, just in the direct sunlight in July, it might be a little bit much. But regardless of that, the pool is nice. You're going to be having a great time. There's an enormous sports book, the biggest sports book I've ever seen right there. So if you want to bet, say like on the Super Bowl or some big sporting events, and you want to have a pool party at the same time, you can't beat it.
Also, this pool is heated all year round.
Yes.
So that's why we decided to go swimming right in the middle of February. Because also, this place is probably got the longest bar I have ever seen in my entire life. This bitch is huge. Like, seriously, huge. And also, if you need like a swimsuit or anything, they have it.
Yes, fortunately, because I forgot mine. But there's stores right there. You can buy suntan lotion, swimsuits, whatever you need right there. You'll pay a little bit of a markup, but you'll have such a good time, you won't even be mad after that.
Yeah, also, before we did actually have to reserve our lounge chairs. Currently, as of today, since June 1st, it's all back to 100% capacity. So no more reservations for lounge chairs.
Yes. So, Circa, highly recommend it. Next up is the Super Bowl.
Ooh, that was fun.
Yes. If you have the chance to do this, I highly recommend you go watch the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. That's what we did our last trip. We had such a great time. Do you want to tell them about the last Super Bowl?
Yeah, so when we went, obviously it was so hard to find a reservation for any pool places that had a good one, and especially Stadium Swim, because that was probably booked up like 3 months before, maybe a year even before.
Yeah, it gets booked far in advance. If we had to do it again, I would make the reservation like 3 or 4 months in advance.
Oh, probably way before that. I'm
Yeah.
not even lying. Like, this place is very popular because it's all about sports.
Yeah.
But we ended up going to a place called PT's. This place is basically like a common dive bar.
Yeah, like a local bar.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's off the strip, of course. So when we went, it was a lot of fun. It had, gambling poker, like screens, like on the bar itself. It had enough room for everyone to be there. We got there a little early, so it wasn't filled up whatsoever. And at that time, obviously, you also had to make a reservation, but it's really easy to get a reservation for that place. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, so there's backup options where the main things like the Circa Pool, the Stadium Swim, Caesars Sportsbook, all those big places, those are going to be booked months in advance. But if you get there last minute, you can still find something, some kind of local bar or some small place to go to. So the last Super Bowl was the Bucs versus the Chiefs. I grew up in New England, so I'm a huge Tom Brady fan. So we bet on the Bucs together.
Well, I bet on Tom Brady.
Yes. And we bet against my neighbor and a bunch of my friends. And
my mother, too.
Yes.
My mother wanted in on this. Tell me why. She wanted to bet $500.
She did.
Everybody else was just betting $100. Yeah, she talked.
Well, so I looked at the odds before because the Chiefs won by so much. I didn't think the odds were good enough, so I'm like, no, it's not a smart bet. Just reduce it to 100. How about that? But then, against all odds, the Buccaneers won. We won money, not as much as we could have if I had been a little bit more bold, but we won some money and had a lot of fun.
That actually was true, yeah. And also, I won a couple prizes from the bar as well because they were doing this little game.
And if you want to bet on the game, there's no better place to do this in Las Vegas. It just makes the whole game a lot more fun.
Exactly.
Yes. All right, so the next one might surprise you a little bit. It is renting a Tesla. So I went on the site Turo.com. It's basically a site where Tesla owners or people that own any kind of car can rent their car to somebody else. And you can rent a Tesla or any other kind of really awesome car for a great price. Now, a lot of people, I know when I used to go to Las Vegas, I'm thinking like, oh, I'll just take an Uber everywhere. I don't really want to be driving too many places. But it is actually kind of fun to rent an awesome car for a few days. Again, let's say you're there for 7 days. You want something to mix it up for at least 2 or 3 days so it's not the same Uber every time. If you want to do something in the desert, if you're going 15 or 30 minutes outside, it's really nice to have a car. And in Las Vegas, you get better rates on car rentals for awesome cars in other places because there's a lot of tourists that want to rent these cars. So if there's any car you've been thinking about getting, like a Tesla Model S or like an R8 or any kind of really awesome car that you've always fantasized about driving, you could drive it for just $100 or $200 a day in Las Vegas. And if you take it out to the desert, you're going to have a great time.
Yep. And honestly, like, I drove a little bit of this Tesla. I'm not going to lie, just don't drive it downtown if you have never really driven a Tesla or you're a little bit of afraid to drive a Tesla. Because I like the more open road type of feeling if I'm driving a car for the first time.
And it's kind of good too because it does take some getting used to. There's a learning curve with a Tesla like any other car. And if you're going to drop $70 or $80 or $90,000 on a car, a test drive is not enough. Like, you really have to see this under real world conditions for multiple days. And you might as well have some fun while doing it. So rent a nice car, rent something awesome for a couple days. It doesn't have to be the whole trip, but get something for a couple days where you can have some fun with.
And also, if you do stay at the Venetian and you rent a Tesla, they do have charging stations and the valet will ask if they could charge it for you.
Exactly. You don't even have to worry about it. They charge it for you overnight.
It's really nice too.
Yes. All right. Next up is the top of the world. You want to talk about that?
So the top of the world restaurant, probably out of every restaurant that we went to, this place was my absolute favorite. This place was, okay, so if you know Dallas, Texas, then you know this big giant ball at the very top of downtown that spins really, really slow, and it's a restaurant up there. So this is the exact same type of thing, except it's Vegas. You see such a better view. It is super fine dining. Like, we had probably the nicest circle booth and we could see right out into the view. And the service was amazing. The food was immaculate. And there was even a professional photographer going around taking everyone's pictures.
Yes, the pictures turned out really good. And they do the pictures really well. So with the restaurant, you're sitting there and you're looking out to the view. So behind you is actually the restaurant booth. But they somehow, through the magic of photo editing, reverse it. So they put the background behind you as if you're looking out over the background. So in the picture, you get the background, even though the background isn't actually behind you.
And this person is also teaching you like how to move your hands, where to place everything.
Yes.
Like, it was the sweetest thing because I was like, I never thought about it like that before. But man, did these pictures come out amazing. We ended up buying them. Like, they were about $60. So don't, be surprised if they do charge you for these. And what also really impressed me was we thought we weren't going to see her again after she took the pictures because we were already paying and leaving. But she literally ran out to us just to find us and show us these pictures. And of course, she did her little, they're $60. But of course, if you saw these pictures, you'd buy them right away.
It was a great experience overall. Great service, great food, and a great view. So that brings us to number one. What is the number one thing in Vegas?
Fremont Street.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, so hopefully by the time we go again this month, we will see it way more crowded, way more performances. But man, this was like going to dirty 6th Street in Austin, except less dirty and less homeless people.
Yes, and more fun.
Way more fun.
So every time I went to Vegas before without you, I just stayed on the strip the entire time. I didn't even know about this. A lot of people, I think, don't even know about this. They think of it as like the old Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But this is the more fun Las Vegas.
It
I
really
highly
is.
recommend it. I remember, so one of the most fun things we did there was the zip line.
Oh, yes. Oh my God.
So Fremont Street, we'll show some videos in the background now while we're talking about this. So it's basically a street where it's kind of enclosed with video monitors over the top, and you kind of see like different things on the enclosed area over the top. So you can take the zip line and you can basically zip through the entire thing. And the one that we did, you go like you're
Superman.
Yes. So it feels like you're flying the entire way through. It's an amazing view the entire way through. Great, great experience. Make sure you do that zip line.
So I was actually able to rent one of their GoPros and use it on the zip line. So there is definitely going to be a video to show you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. This was probably the most exhilarating thing I've ever done because yes, I am terrified of heights, but ziplining is really fun. So why not do it on the Fremont Street experience?
Yes, exactly.
There's constant bars on the side too. So if you guys really need a drink, just walk past anything and there's a bar right there. You could just literally get a drink on the side.
And if you want to save some money, this is the place to do it. There's some really nice places there. The hotel rates are significantly less than things on the strip. Drink prices, meal prices are less. and you can get some really good food, some great bars there. There's a lot of really underrated places on Fremont Street because a lot of people don't even go there, but you gotta check it out if you go to Las Vegas.
There's a lot of street performers too. There's people that make things out of just regular plants. Like, it's crazy. Just make sure that you don't look the street performers in the eyes, because then then if you're gonna get haggled with wanting to take a picture, and if you do take a picture and you don't want to pay them, then they're gonna get rowdy.
Yes. So there is that, but nonetheless, the whole environment on the street is so fun. It's a great time there, and you got to check it out if you go to Las Vegas.
Hopefully, whenever we go this month, we will see it way more crowded, because there was
Yes.
really nobody on it last time we went.
So that's actually another good point. So we went during the Super Bowl. I believe that was in February. So that was at the very end of the lockdown. There were still some capacity limits. There were a lot of shows closed, buffets closed, mask mandates, and now that's all gone. So now that Las Vegas is back, you got to come back. You got to go support all those people that were hurting during the last year of lockdowns, and you got to have some fun.
And honestly, it is a lot safer now, or else they wouldn't have the no mask mandate anymore. And because Las Vegas is pretty strict about stuff like that. They know how big and crowded things can get.
Yes, exactly. So if you want to break out of quarantine, have some fun, do the things that you haven't done in the year, go to Las Vegas and do these 10 things.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us for our top 10 places to do in Vegas.
Yes.
All right, if you guys have any questions, make sure to comment down below. And we'll see you guys next time.
See you next time.
Bye.